Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is No Dust here, and we are going to do some more Budget Shaman ladder climbing. Again, no epics, legendaries, or adventure cards. So let's hop into the client. We're at rank 18, and let's skip to the mulligan. Okay, in we go. Earthshock, I don't think... What would I be Earthshocking against a warrior? Nothing that I can think of. Possibly a Frothing, but Frothing comes out on turn 3 of this, so let's throw it back. I think Scarlet is good enough actually to keep against Warrior, because Warriors tend to have a lot of issues with Divine Shields and Death Rattles. So I'm going to hold on to the Scarlet. And if we find our Ooze, not in the early game, but perhaps in the mid game, I think that the Ooze inclusion from last video will be helpful. Now, I'm not going to play anything because... Actually, no. I'm not going to coin out the Knife Juggler. I'm not going to bait the Wind Axe, although I will coin out the Crusader. Does it make sense to coin out the Crusader? I think it challenges a weapon much better than the Knife Juggler. And hopefully I pick up a 3-drop, but if I don't, Knife Juggler on turn 3 is also fine. This thing is very sturdy against the Warrior's weapons. The only neat answer I can think of would probably be Unstable Ghoul. That would be a very, very nice answer. But it's not going to happen. Now, do we push out the Abusive? I'm not doing much on turn 4, so I think I'd leave the Abusive for Reach. I'm going to hold on to it for Reach. And we're looking okay. I don't know why my warrior friend is not really developing any minions. Is this some sort of fatigue warrior? I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Okay. Are you going to execute my Knife Juggler? Oh, okay. Interesting. Oh, it's a Patron. It's a combo list. Okay, it's a Patron combo list. Which makes it a little awkward now that I have no turn 3 play. Although, should we develop the Abusive? He's already spent a Whirlwind. And he's already spent a Cruel Task. There may actually be another Cruel Task in hand. Let's push out the Abusive just to have something on the board. I'm not going to be able to play the Abusive until turn 6 if I don't play it now. Because next turn I have so many 5-drop plays. We do have some neat answers to Patron if they do come out. Okay, this is just some sort of strange Enrage list. But I was going to say, we do have some nice answers to Patron in the form of Drake Lightning Storm. Okay, I don't know why you spent a charge on that. That's not... I don't see the logic there, but that's fine. We get to develop Thunder Bluff, and it is not challenged. It can be taken down by Execute, but Warbot plus Execute on a Thunder Bluff is fine, or even one of these charges is fine as well. That's fine. We can now Shredder Totem. And if we luck into the Taunt Totem, we'll be a lot of luck. We'll be very lucky. Anyway, let's see what happens. No, it's still fine actually. This thing will heal itself up over the next turn. So healing is actually also pretty good against the Death's Bite. And again, Death Rattle minions. I will be sad and not sad to see Shredder go in standard. I like the RNG-ness. I think that Shredder would have been fine as like a 4-mana 3/4. So just flip the stats around just a little bit. Okay, now you've got another Death Spite. I think that we just totem up. I want to see what you swing. I don't think I need to do anything on the board right now. Yeah, I want you to at least waste a swing on the Web Lord. I don't feel as if I need to develop anything. Yeah, we're just gonna hold our resources. Okay, so there's the Corcoran. That's fine. Are you going to spend a swing clearing the totem? I wonder. Okay, that's fine too. Now, if we pick up a weapon, a damage buff, Argus works. Argus works. Now, do I want to totem Argus or? I think Totem Argus is fine, because the Argus will stay alive. Let's just play it slowly, yeah. We'll Totem Argus. Actually, now that I've got this, This could actually change my line of play. I wonder. Now, if I trade the healing totem in, the whirlwind effect will clear the Corcoran. Although the whirlwind effect will clear the Corcoran, the Corcoran will be forced to run into one of my totems anyway. Yeah, I think this is fine, and I'll apply 1 damage to the face. I think we can sneak that 1 damage in. I don't think my logic was incorrect because yeah. The whirlwind effect will be used on my board. Now the issue is if there are patrons in hand. So the Corcoran's gonna go down to the whirlwind effect if he swings his weapon. If he doesn't, then that's okay too. Looks like my opponent is saving. All right. Now I think I'll actually spend the Argus to clear this because the taunt is very, very useful. Now let's Drake. Okay, that's really powerful too. Yeah, I'll save the taunt because the taunt actually protects my Drake. The 1/3 taunt does a lot of work in protecting the Drake. I lose 1 damage to the face, but the taunt is really, really powerful. Sorry to repeat myself, but yeah. Taunt totems, there we are. So there's the Patron. Not something that we can't deal with right now. A little unfortunate that we got the Stone Claw. I mean, the Searing. Okay. It's super combo-y. Okay. And then you're going to swing, I'm assuming, to make 4 patrons. Now, we are a decent way into our list, and we haven't drawn one of our Lightning Storms. I could actually try for a Lightning Storm. Now that's fine because I don't think that made sense to clear your own 5/1 patron. Okay, the Direwolf isn't great. Now there's 6 times 3 damage. There's 18 damage on the board. That's okay. I think we can take the pain for a turn. It would have been nicer to have that in hand. Do we totem up? Yeah, let's totem up. Okay, that's fine. We're not even close to dying. This unless there's some sort of. So the thing is, I'm cycling for Lightning Storm here, and the problem is actually that I need the spell power into the Lightning Storm to give it a guaranteed full clear. So hopefully, if he leaves the healing totem up, no, so the healing totem doesn't stay up. We can still get a reasonable clear because the board is actually full. I think the patrons will stop coming. Okay, there's still no Lightning Storm. I think we can still play defensively here. And there's still 16 damage, 19 in total. I think we have to hex the monkey. Yeah, let's see what the taunt gives us. I mean, let's see what the totem gives us. That's really useful, actually. And we will hex the monkey. His board is full, and there's 18 damage here, but one of the 3. So we're looking at about 15 damage to face. That's still okay. I can still sort of take that. Yeah, the main thing is that his board is full. Okay. But we are sort of desperate for a Lightning Storm right now, and I think both Drakes have gone down. So, okay, that's fine. That's not what I'm looking for, and I think we're done. Let's just see what happens. We can heal up. Now we're at 14. I think if I hex one of his guys, how much damage are we looking at? This is 14 damage. If we can random a taunt, then we can actually survive for another turn. No, we didn't quite get it. So this is 14. Yeah, we're done. Yeah. No, just didn't get the answers to the patrons. And it's a little annoying, honestly. We were quite far into our list and no answers to patrons, but these things, again, will happen. Let's go to the next game. Okay, I think we keep the Direwolf just to have a 2-drop play. I definitely would like something better. Yeah, this Earthshock just feels out of place. What can I put in its stead? What can I could probably replace it with a... it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Do I want to coin out the Direwolf? I don't think so. I think we can wait on this. I can spend the Earthshock on a buffed up Mana Worm. So if... Okay, no, that's fine. Earthshock onto the Mad Scientist is actually probably preferable here. I won't clear the Mad Scientist, that's the problem. I think we just developed the Wolf. Yeah, just a very slow start. I wonder if I need a faster start. We just seem to be falling behind from turn 1. Now, I do have 2 Abusives, but perhaps something like a Infiltrator. So the 1 for a 2/1 stealth to give more early game presence. Yeah. Because we're just falling behind here. And against the Warrior, he did that big tempo turn. And it was quite wasteful of resources, but it did end up winning the game for the Warrior last time round. I think we coin out the Shredder. Now let me just look at the list. Is our list perhaps too slow? Double Stormwind, double Fire Elemental, and then a Thunder Bluff. I think I have to take one of the finishers out. I think that is the case. I'm going to have to take one of the finishers out. We get the freebie. And I think I Swamp Ooze Totem? Either I Swamp Ooze Totem or Swamp Ooze Earthshock. Does Earthshock do a lot for me right now? I have a feeling he's going to keep the Shredder alive. Let's Totem up. Oh, actually, that's not too bad. This gives us a nice clear. Now, do I want to Earthshock the Mad Scientist or the Shredder? I think it makes more sense to clear the Mad Scientist because it gives you a guaranteed clear, whereas the Earthshock just leaves the Shredder up. It's still a threat as a 4/1. So I think it makes more sense to give the guaranteed clear. Now this was actually a fine pickup from the Shredder. Okay. Lightning Storm. We're going to have to roll high. Actually, I can trade Lightning Storm and then Ooze. I think that makes the most sense. Yeah, this gives me a guaranteed clear. And next turn's a little awkward, honestly. Yeah. So the question is, do I want to replace the Earthshock with? Okay, that's actually okay. We got the Abusive as an answer. Do I want to replace the Earthshock with something like a Spellbreaker? Let's totem up first. We can Healbot next turn, or we can Storm Enchant next turn. But we are definitely getting rid of this Thorison. And he got a 3-card trigger. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Not as okay.
You can see it, and I'll let you live.
All right. So Inspire Sarad. Okay. Hex would be really nice. Failing that, I think we just have to develop the big Storm Enchant. And hopefully clear it next turn. Because if I'd played the Drake, Drake drawing into a Hex wouldn't have been helpful there. I want to be at 8 mana to do Drake into Hex, possibly. He's most likely going to Hero Power again. Yeah, having quite a lot of trouble. I do think that I think I will take some late game out for some early game. So possibly lose the Valiant or... okay, interesting. Okay, that's actually quite helpful. That it wasn't a double ping onto...
A new acquisition.
Okay, hopefully that's not a 1-drop spell. Okay, that's fine actually. Let's see if we can find a Hex. The Flame Tongue is not useful right now. So we do get rid of the Sarad. I don't want to be facing up against that Sarad. And we want to use the Horse Rider. I think Horse Rider is better saved for Flame Tongue Horse Rider to give a easier clear on the Flame Waker. It's quite a slow play, honestly, but the totem has also got a chance of absorbing Flame Waker hits. But yeah, Flame Tongue Horse Rider gives me a very nice clear, and then Flame Tongue if this thing stays alive, I get a very nice Flame Tongue clear on the Summoning Stone as well. So that's not too bad. We've actually stabilized quite considerably. Now, do I want to do any other different plays? So we've got 9 mana. This is going to spend 5. I think I'll probably just Crusader or... Anyway, let's get the freebies first. Now, I think it's worth rolling for a Taunt Totem, because that will protect my... okay, we didn't get it. That's okay. Most likely, the Flame Tongue is going down as a freebie to the Jungle Panther. Ooh, okay, Flame Strike. You're going to be aggressive. Interesting. Okay, and there's the Head Crack. Okay, so we are on a bit of a timer, although the Head Crack isn't the best use of mana. Do I try to be more aggressive? The Stormwind Champ into Scarlet Crusader. I think I'm dead to Fireball though. I think I need to play more defensively. And again, we try for the Taunt Totem. Again, we miss out, but that's fine. This puts me a little bit further out of range of Fireball. If I had done Stormwind Champ, Scarlet Crusader, I would have been at 10 health, so hit Fireball. Okay, so there's the Antonidas. This is tough. This is a very slow controlling mage. I don't think we're going to win this either, unfortunately. Just running up against some tough plays. I'm not necessarily saying tough opponents, but tough plays. Okay, and this is not going to work out either. Yeah, we've got too much late game. I think I'm gonna have to look for a Hex. That's not going to do it. We're basically done for, I think. Yeah, that big Flame Strike really hurt. And, yeah, well, unfortunately, this Shaman deck is taking a beating. Or just I'm taking a beating. Not playing super well. Okay, so it's going to be Fireball, and hit. I think that's done. No, no, yeah, Fireball, ping, hit. Yeah, we're done. So we do have answers to Antonidas. We do have answers to things like Sarad. We just didn't draw them. It's a little unfortunate. And I will save the deck changes. Actually, let's make them now. I'm feeling that this list is a little too slow. We need some early game presence to help us not fall behind so much. I think that the Valiant is nice. I like the Valiant. It's just really slow. I think actually the Stormwind Champ can come out, because the Valiant has the same health as the Champ, and it does the same sort of thing. So let's lose a Stormwind Champ. I'm also considering the Earth Shock. So let's see if we have any silence effects. That we can throw in a Spellbreaker. Spellbreaker. Better than Earth Shock? I think it is better than Earth Shock. I mean, I lose a Wild Power Activator, but we still have a fair number of them. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, so I'm going to make some deck changes. So, deck changes. So we're going to take the Earth Shock out. Spellbreaker in. And I think they're both commons, so it's a neutral, no dust change. But we will have to update the list. So let's take the Earth Shock out and the Spellbreaker comes in. And then I'm going to take a Stormwind Champ out, I believe. Yeah, I think it's a little too slow. So Stormwind Champ out, and I'm going to put in a 1-drop. Now, I could actually put in a Clockwork, and that will synergize quite nicely with Wild Pyro. Or I could put in a Worgen, and the Worgen is more guaranteed value, whereas the Clockwork is more like slower. Let's go halfway. Let's go with the Clockwork, because I'm as if you've seen my Rogue run-throughs, budget climbs, I do like the Clockwork. So we throw in a Clockwork, so that's 40 dust up. And let's actually get back onto the ladder once I do some modifications to the list. So the list is going to have to change a little bit. So I will be right back with you guys once I've done the overlay changes. Okay, and I have done the changes. We've updated the win-loss, and the list should be correct with only one Stormwind champ. Okay, so let's hop into game if I'm not running into any connectivity issues. No, we're okay. All right, let's hop into game, and hopefully we do a little bit better and don't just get run over. Okay, let's skip to the mulligan. Okay, don't really want any of these. And I really do want to actually think about Flame Tongue, because I think Flame Tongue is a little bit too win more. Let me write that down. Is Flame Tongue to win more? Because something like having double Direwolf I think is fine. Playing a Direwolf on turn 2 is fine, but like I said before, Flame Tongue only really works if you're sort of ahead on the board, or if you have charge minions. Now we do have the Horse Rider, but I don't think we have enough charge minions, and we don't have enough taunt minions. So Flame Tongue is good with charge and taunt. Direwolf is also good with charge and taunt, but obviously not as good. And here we go. See, if this had been a Direwolf instead of a Flame Tongue, I think this would have been a much better starting hand. As it is, I can't play Flame Tongue on turn 2. So I think that consider taking Flame Tongue out for second Direwolf, because the Direwolf gives you that sort of reach that you need. I think we just totem up. Okay, he's going to get a free clear on the totem, but I don't want to feed the Direwolf into it. What we can do next turn is we can Direwolf Lightning Bolt, and that protects the Direwolf that I'll play. Very dependent on whether my opponent. Yeah, so there's a tap here. I'm sensing some sort of control lock. You quite rarely see Zombie Chow in Zoo, although you can, but suffice it to say, I quite rarely see Zombie Chow in Zoo. So yeah, that Flame Tongue, you really have to sort of consider it as another finisher, and you really do need to. But so either I put in more taunts / charges, or I replace Flame Tongue with a better 2-drop. Yeah, okay, this is fine. Slap the Lightning Bolt, protects my Direwolf, and Flame Tongue can come down next turn to give me 4 damage reach. And that's not too bad. Yeah, I think that the Flame Tongue needs to come out. We could even play something like a Creeper, because of the number of attack buffing minions that I have. I think a Creeper can work. And we're not doing Lightning Storm. This is fine. Yeah, the Flame Tongue itself, I mean, it's a ton of value, but it's very, very situational. Very situational. It's hard to say. It's hard to pass up that sort of value, but I think that it's too situational. Like I said, either I need more charges and taunts, or I should replace it with a better 2-drop. So I think, having that in mind, actually, yeah, we can't play Creeper either, because Creeper is a Nax card. That's tough. So what 2-drop? What 2-drop do I want to replace Flame Tongue with? This is fine. I'm not going to heal, but I think we just Dark Iron. What 2-drop? Let me think. We will have a quick look at the collection manager shortly. I mean, at worst comes to worst, you can just do a Direwolf, and this is fine. I can totem. I can actually ooze. Do I want to totem Argus or ooze Argus? Am I likely going to need to ooze like a Jiraxxus weapon? This is a bit of a control-y list, so let's play around the off chance that there's a Jiraxxus coming. And this is not a bad totem to buff up, actually, because it takes it out of Mortal Coil range. The ooze on the Jiraxxus weapon were really, really nice, but it's quite unlikely. But seeing the sort of legendaries that we've been running up against at rank 19, I'm not super surprised. I mean, we had a Sarad last game, and Sarad into Antonidas. So, you never know. You never know. I think this is a better play. Now, again, do I want the taunt? I think we save the taunt. The taunt is quite valuable, especially in protecting the fire elemental. Now, we're looking pretty strong here, but you never know what's going to happen. With a Tharisen. Oh, geez, more legendaries. Jeez, that's okay. I think we just start being aggressive. I'm looking for it. I should be looking for a hex again. You know, not paladins. Shamans have a lot of answers, but it's a bit annoying when you don't have the answers in hand. Now we can finish next turn because of the taunt. Now the issue is this thing is in BGH range. So hopefully, if we don't get BGH or if we don't get Reno'd, we should be okay. Okay, there it is. So that's annoying, but not game losing. I don't think I would. Would there have been merit to playing the other stuff? I think it's. Yeah, so there's the Reno as well. Okay, so it's both. We got double whammied. Tough, but we're not fully done yet because we forced out an early Reno. Now I don't want to break this. I don't want to break this. I hit Lightning Storm. Does Lightning Storm give me any other additional reach? I don't think so. Now the toss up is between I want a totem first, but my question is, do I want a Knife Juggler totem? That leaves me 5 mana. I can still Wild Pyro Lightning Storm if I need to, which seems unlikely. Okay, so let's do Wild Juggler totem and see what we find. Okay, that's not actually a bad one. We can just do we can guarantee the clear on the Sneeds, and then see what comes out. Do I want to see what comes? I think actually we'll just do the straight up Lightning Storm. See if anything pops out. No, nothing pops out. That's actually quite good for us. And do I hold the Pyro? Yeah, let's hold the Pyro. I could be walking into something like a Shadow Flame. The Sneeze is basically obligated to trade into my Stormwind Champ. But you never know. Okay, Jesus. So much late game. Okay, now I definitely need a Hex. Wow. That was handy. Did you accidentally pass? No, he didn't accidentally pass. Looks like we're losing this game as well. Ah, that's fine. We will, these things will happen. This hyper control, oh wow. Sneeze again. Okay, how much damage is there? That's just totem. There's not actually a ton of damage coming to my face. I need to find a hex for this thing. And if I don't find a hex this turn, I think we're just going to concede. So you can't go face with the Ice Howl. That's sort of lucky. Yeah, there's some new legendaries that's going to come out of Sneeds, and definitely that Sneeds going uncontested. Okay, I think we're done, but let's see what we find. It's like an all legendary Warlock deck. Okay, yeah, we're done. All right, that's a little bit disappointing as well, but that's fine. Let's head into game 4. Okay, I don't think I want a Lightning Storm against a Priest. I mean, we do have the answers. It's just we don't have the answers in hand when we need them. And it's a tough one, this Shaman list. Perhaps I'm just a bad player. Perhaps. Coin Juggler and 2 Direwolf. Okay. And really, what is the answer to... Okay, you're most definitely going to Power Word Shield that. That's... Okay, that's fine. If we get a lucky juggle, I can clear this thing. Let's go for it. Let's go for the lucky juggle. If we don't get the lucky juggle... Okay, that's excellent. That was actually really lucky. Finally something going our way, although this being a Golden Priest, I wouldn't rule out there being big legendaries and stuff in here as well. So we'll see how we go. Okay, so that's just the pass. We totem up again. And Knife Juggler conveniently sits on the 4 attack, so making it difficult for my priest opponent to clear. Yeah, so what sort of answers do I want against something? I don't know. Against like the Reno list, what does this list? What does a shaman do against a Reno sort of list? It's hard to say. Anyway, we're just going to continue to be aggressive. Luckily, we have board control, so this allows us to keep pushing. And then the Thunder Bluff comes down. Hopefully, the Shadow Word Pain comes out on one of my other minions. Okay. Wow, you rolled into a Lightning Storm. That's pretty nice. That doesn't mean there's no Shadow Word Pain in his hand, though. This is fine. I think it beats out doing something like Ooze Totem. Yeah, what's a shaman's answer to a big control? I mean, your traditional answers are Hex. Okay, so that was a really quick. I don't even know what happened in that game. I don't know what my priest opponent was trying to do, but I don't really feel satisfied with that game. So let's do one more, at least one more, and hopefully we can finish this seven games quest. Okay, Crusader. All these are going out. I'm tempted to keep the Spellbreaker because A, it's a 4 attack minion, and B, it silences the priests things such as Valens and Power Word Shield, but I think it's still too slow to keep in the early game. We want to push out with ideally, I get one of my 1-drops. This is much better. So Abusive into Direwolf into Horse Rider. Yeah, this is a much better start. And yeah, our mulligans have actually been quite poor in the previous few games. So this is looking much better. Yeah. So what sort of how does a shaman counter a Reno type list? So that previous game against the Warlock that had KT and stuff like that. How do you counter a Reno style list? I think you need things like sustained damage. That's tough. Okay, this is fine. Sets up a very strong Argus play. Okay, that's really, really strange. Are you going to be Holy Novering this turn? If you are, then I think this is Maiden is better. Because it survives the Holy Nova. I'm sensing a Holy Nova, yeah. So let's throw the Maiden out. Because the Argus... how do I say? The Argus doesn't change the vulnerability of my board to Holy Nova. Okay, so it's just not Holy Nova. That's fine. Now this is an instance where the Flame Tongue does a ton of work. But you can't always really count on that. So... do I want to silence? I think we just Flame Tongue. And then Flame Tongue and then Totem Up. Yeah, well, let's Totem Up first, see what we find. Okay, we do have the very neat single Lightning Bolt to take it out. You know what? Let's use the Flame Tongue here. It makes me less vulnerable to Holy Nova. I could have used the Divine Shield instead of the body of the Abusive. But yeah, I want to play around Holy Nova. Okay, this is very vulnerable to also silence. We might be able to actually finish. We can hit. We can Lightning Bolt hit. I think that makes the most sense to Lightning Bolt hit. Yeah, and apologies, some of you guys, probably Shaman Masters out there, I'm making like numerous misplays and so on and so forth. It's not actually that good to silence this thing because it doesn't lose a lot. It loses the taunt, but I don't think the taunt makes a huge difference right now. I think we do Lightning Bolt hit. And I totem up. Do I want to totem up for... yeah, I'll try for the a different totem. Here we are. So I'll try for a taunt totem. And we can Argus up now. Let's do that. It'll push it into death range. Or do I want to... yeah, let's do that.
My shield.
Okay. We're looking... It's a very dominant position now, so... we're looking pretty good. Yeah. Okay, so let's actually turn our thoughts to yeah. So that's the danger there, but it's still a 3 mana play on a 3 mana minion, and that's really slow. The Museum Curator. So this sort of mid-rangey Shaman deck is good against the slow mid-rangey like Discover stuff, but if you go super late game, I don't know if we can survive. Okay, now how much damage do we have? We got 7. We've got 9. That's not quite enough, so let's totem up. Do I want a full board clear? The creeper. I don't feel very threatened by the creeper. I think I'm just going to cash in some damage. Yeah. Okay, I think we should be fine for the win. Something like a light bomb won't even clear the board, so we should be fine. Yeah. So 4 losses into 2 relatively trivial wins. I didn't really feel like there was much contest there. Yeah, I guess we just got unlucky and ran into some you know, powerful legendary lists. Now I will consider what 2-drops we have to replace Flame Tongue. I don't like Flame Tongue in this list, and you know, some of you may disagree with me, but yeah, I'm not a fan of Flame Tongue. We could even put something like a Crackle in. We could even, if I had something to disenchant for it. So let's actually see if we have anything to disenchant for the Crackle. I don't believe... Oh, no. Yeah, we've got a Golden Demolisher. So there's a Golden Demolisher I can get rid of. Okay. Yeah, let's get rid of the gold. I mean, do I want the Crackle? I think that the Crackle will be useful for reach, and it allows me to gives me that sort of burst, and it also works really well with things like Azure Drake. Alternatively, I could go for another Direwolf. I think that's a little too much though, because we already have 2 abusive, a Direwolf and a Darkine, and an Argus that are reliant on having board presence. And having said that, then I may want something that guarantees board presence, which would come in the form of let's see if there are any commons. Probably something like in the form of Annoyatron, but I don't like Annoyatron as a card. I think it's even something like a Gilwyn Stalker would be quite nice actually. How many 2-drop minions do we have? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's too many. I feel that the Crackle fits best because it gives me like a spell option for turn 2, and it also works well with Wild Pyro and the Double Drake. So let's go for the Crackle. We'll get rid of the Demolisher. So we'll disenchant a Demolisher. Yes, I'm not going to make a Demolisher list. And let's make Crackle. So I'm going to take the Flame Tongue out, and this Flame Tongue is soulbound, so let's do some deck changes part 2. There's a lot of deck changes this time around. So Flame Tongue out, Crackle in. Yeah, because I think this list is a little too dependent on having board control, especially the Flame Tongue. So I think the Crackle will help, particularly, you know, it helps with finishing the game. I could also consider doing double Lightning Bolt. It's hard to say actually which is better, because the Lightning Bolt being 1 cheaper and the guaranteed damage, I think I'll run 1 of each. I think it's a little too much RNG, but let's see how we go for a couple of games. Let's see how we go for another video. I definitely do want to see if we can turn around our win-loss, because yeah, it hasn't been going well. But that's fine. You know, we lost 3 games in a row against Warrior, Mage, and Warlock, and then we won 2 against Priest. So, yeah, all in all, not great, but only time will tell, and experience, obviously. So Flame Tongue out, Crackle in. This is another 40 dust up. So before we finish up, I will do the deck modifications again. So I'll be right back with you guys. Okay, I'm back, and I think things are all in line. Let me just check the overlay over here. Whoops. Let me just check the overlay. Looks like the Crackle is in place. Okay, and we've got the Stormwind Chap changed from midway through this list. Yeah, I think I may. Perhaps I'm doing too many changes in a short period of time, but I'm starting to feel this list lagging a bit, and whether that has to do with my poor, low amount of shaman experience, or whether that has to do with the list construction itself, probably has a bit of both. It has to do with a bit of both. So actually, now that we've got a bit of dust, let me just check some more shaman commons that we can craft. Now, Stormforged could be good. Totem Golem I feel is too slow. Tuskar is definitely something to consider. I could probably replace a Scarlet Crusader with a Tuskar, and that would give good synergies with things like Argus and things like Maiden, actually, because you get a totem out, and then you get a Maiden, you get a cheapo another totem out. Also things like Thunderbluff Valiant. So I think a Tuskar definitely has a place, but let's sit on that for now. I think we've made enough changes for now. So let's finish up the video there. Okay, thanks in advance, guys, for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. I do this for the love, and any gestures of appreciation are much appreciated. Yeah, apologies in advance for the poor performance in this video. Ideally you go at least 50-50, but we went this clip we went 2 wins, 3 losses. So 40% win rate. Yeah, not great. And I take full responsibility. The list is probably poorly constructed, or I'm just not very good at shaman. So hopefully we can turn things around in the next couple of videos, but obviously there's no guarantees of that. Okay, so until then, I hope you guys have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. I will be back with some more budget shaman laddering shortly. Until then, this is No Dust signing.